Hey everybody, goal today is to get the fencing up. Everything's stained, posts are set. It's been a couple days, so they're definitely locked tight with some good rain we've had just from the groundwater. But have the laser level going, and the yard's sloped, but I want to make where we sit on our back porch, I want to make that level or as close to it as I can. I just don't want to see it going up and down. That might be okay for going like a quarter mile in the fencing, but not when it's only like, I think that's like 36 feet from that post to that post. So we're with laser level. I'm gonna find it on each post. And I made a 4-foot mark here, so I'll be able to measure down from there and I'll get the top of our fence. So I'm sure you can hear the beeping, but that's because I'm shooting a red laser on a green post in the daylight. It's just not that easy to see it, even with, honey, leave the frog alone. With the two colors. So I'm using the measuring stick tool. So I will need to measure down 7.5 inches from the line, and that'll give me a straight line across. Let me get the one right behind me. And that's my lowest one here. Well, apparently there's more of a slope to the yard than I thought, so I do not believe I'm going to get this level. Yeah. So, well, I'm going to think about it for a minute, but yeah, we're like right in this last 10-15 feet here. It goes up 3 or 4 inches. And I don't want to dig down, because then that'll make my fence short, way too short. I don't mind if I buried it like an inch or two, but I still want to keep it at close to the 4 foot. All right, so let me think about it for a minute and we'll be back. All right, so I've made an executive decision. We're just gonna put a gradual slope to it. I'd have to regrade most of the yard to make it come out level. So we're just gonna have a nice slope up to it. But we need to measure out 36 feet with that coil right there. And we're gonna cut it with bolt cutters. All right, so we're gonna do something like right now. I'd say in most cases you would just go put it right up and put your nail your staples in, but we're gonna do something a little different. All right, so this is the next step on our fence install, I'm actually going to wrap my posts in newspaper, and I'll let you know why at the end, or you'll see why at the end. So it's as simple as hammer tacker, wrap it with paper. Alright, so that's all I did, was just wrap it in newspaper. So I have about, well, I'm just going to do this row here first, and then we'll get that piece of fence up. Alright, now that we got our first run of fence posts wrapped, let's put up our fence. Alright, so I'm going to move this stuff to the safe side of the fencing. And that's why the camera's over there, so I don't whack it with the fence somehow. But I cut my fence to 36 feet. It's a foot longer than I need to, but I'm going to use a ratchet strap and a board to stretch it tight. But let me show you what I'm going to attach it with. So what these are, they're just called fence staples. So they're galvanized. So I'm going to be cutting all these as close as I can to the weave, and just so nobody gets caught on them. Alright, the first couple staples are always the hardest. My fence is all twisted up now, so we're going to go down to the south end of it and get it our homemade fence stretcher up. Alright, so what I made here is my version of a fence stretcher, since I only have to do it 3 times, 4 times. For now, I just ran a piece of 1x through the fence because I ran it long, and I had a cable, and I just hooked it to a ratchet strap to the Ford, and so I pulled it as tight as I could, and now I'm just going to ratchet strap it in, but I'm holding it upright. Okay, wow, I'm pretty happy with that. Let me show you. Hope it shows up on camera. So I pulled it all nice and taut. I'm going to give it a couple more pulls with the ratchets, or a couple more cranks with the ratchet strap. But then I'm just going to go through and staple it up in place. This will be great. So I'm going to leave it attached to the ratchet strap, pulled tight till I'm done stapling up everything. I don't want it to pull the post over, or not over, but Alright, so that was a lot of staples to put in, but came out pretty nice. So next step is we're going to release it from the Ford. So all I'm going to do is just let go of the brake, and we'll see what happens. Sometimes it's easier just to move the tractor. Alright, that's up nice, and for pulling wire straight, I'd say this is pretty nice. Alright, we'll start wrapping the next section and with newspaper, and we'll keep moving around the pen.
Ready to go higher on this? Or this is good. Okay.
Now let's go get that other fence up. This would be awesome. Alright, so at this end I put my fence puller I made up in, and I'm going to grab my hammer. We're going to go down to the other end and we're going to tack it up, and we're going to do the same thing all over again. Alright, now we're in good shape. Always this first one, that's the tricky one. I am pretty happy with this. So I have it nice and tight. I got a couple kinks I have to work out, but yeah, this is what I'm going with. Wow, this is coming together nice. I think Spark will be happy with this. Alright, well, we got another side up. We're gonna go get something to drink. And it's about noon, so we're gonna grab lunch. But definitely be able to get the rest of the fencing up today.